Notice the sweep second hand.
Oh, Henry, it's a beautiful watch. I don't blame you for buying.
It's really great. It's got everything.
Let's see.
Shatterproof crystal, waterproof, dustproof, anti-magnetic. It's practically indestructible.
Hey, Dad, guess what? I hardly pulled it all and the winder came out.
I know he was out back, Martha. I heard him.
Oh, don't fret about him. Maybe his mother's called him to lunch.
Well, if I'm going to have the nursery reseed the backyard, I'll have to mark off the area.
Would you feed Fremont for me while you're there?
Oh. Well, oh, Martha. Here, Fremont. Here you are, boy. Yeah.
Is it lunchtime, Mr. Wilson?
Not for you. What are you doing in there?
We got a secret club. You want to join?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, how many kids are in there?
There's one more.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Well, Margaret's in there, too, but she can't vote. I'm the ladies' auxiliary.
Well, I think I just heard all your mothers calling you. Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Wilson. Bye, Mr. Wilson.
Goodbye.
What you doing, Mom?
I just finished sweeping out the patio.
Is lunch ready yet?
In a few minutes, I'll call you.
Okay. I guess you just thought you heard my mom, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I'm a dreamer. Dennis, why don't you go over to your house and play?
Because my dad's cleaning out the attic, and he doesn't want me getting in the way.
This is my third load, honey. It's a lucky thing I decided to clean it out. Oh. Look at this firecracker.
What on earth is that doing in the house?
It's just some junk left over from the fireworks of the company picnic.
Oh, well, get rid of that for goodness sake.
I'm going to put it in the trash can in the alley. Can you imagine that in Dennis's hand?
I certainly could. With a firecracker that size, he could destroy half the neighborhood.
Right. Besides, he doesn't need it. He can destroy the neighborhood with his bare hands.
What are you doing, Mr. Wilson?
I'm tying the string around the peg.
Why are you doing that, Mr. Wilson? You want to see if you can pull the peg out with a string?
No, I don't.
Well, then what are you doing then?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you.
But if you don't tell me, how can I help you?
You can't. That's the point. Here, go play with Fremont. Here's an extra peg. Have him chase it.
Okay. Here, Fremont! Look at Fremont, Mr. Wilson! Look at Mr. Wilson! Fremont got the wrong peg! I didn't even throw mine.
Dennis, you're a jinx, and I've had enough of it. And I don't want you to come back, understand?
Don't you want me to help you at all?
Well, you are helping me, Dennis. You're helping me right this minute.
Gee, I am? How am I doing that?
By going away and leaving me alone.
Dennis, time for lunch.
Now she calls.
You want to come over and have a peanut butter and mayonnaise and banana sandwich with some chocolate milk?
No, I don't, Dennis. Now go home.
Okay, Mr. Wilson. I'll see you right after lunch.
Mr. Wilson, I heard what you said to that little child, and you should be ashamed.
ashamed. But, Mrs. Elkins, I'm fighting for my life.
Why, Dennis is just full of life and spirit. He's a sweet, lovable little boy.
He is not. He's a supersonic missile, and he's aimed right at me.
It isn't any wonder everyone calls you the neighborhood grouch.
Grouch? Mrs. Elkins, don't you have some place to go?
Yes, I was coming to see you.
Oh? What do you want?
I want to know how much you'd like to contribute toward the playground for the little children.
You'll get exactly what you'd expect from a grouch. Not 1 penny.
Well, you're not only a grouch, you're a Scrooge. Feel better, dear?
No, a little. Thank you, Martha. Neighborhood grouch, Scrooge.
Oh, forget it. It's not true. You're just nervous.
They hate me. The whole neighborhood hates me. You know what I'd like to do tomorrow, Martha? Get away. Take a nice drive in the country.
Well, if that's what you'd like to do, we'll do it. But what about the work on the lawn?
Well, the nursery can do it tomorrow. I don't have to be home for that. Oh, hello. This is George Wilson. You remember that reseeding job I talked to you about? Well, could you do it tomorrow? Yes, the backyard's all staked out. Uh-huh. Well, fine. No, I won't be here, but you can come right in the back. The address is 625 Elm Street. That's right, 625 Elm Street. Good, thank you.
Hey, look! You see what happened there, Tommy? That car just knocked down that signpost. Kapow! Yeah, kapow. With a knockdown signpost, the ice cream man could get lost. Yeah. We better go put it up again. Push, Tommy. It's heavy. It helps if you grunt. That's it. Now I'll hold it while you stamp. And that'll keep it in place and nobody will get lost. Say, let's go over to the Pickerings. I heard they're giving away kittens.
I'll give you a receipt. What's the address here, Mrs. Piedmont?
625 Mississippi.
625 Mississippi. Oh, it's so generous of you to donate, Mrs. Piedmont, especially since your own children don't have any need for the playground.
I guess they will stick pretty close to home once we get the pool in.
When will that be?
Well, they're supposed to start digging sometime this week.
Lovely.
Well, I think a pool will be a mixed blessing. It's surprising to find out how many new friends you have once the word gets out.
I know what you mean. I have a color television set.
Well, come on, Martha. Let's hit that open road.
Don't forget to put the sign up for the seed men, George.
Oh, yes, I almost did forget, didn't I? I guess I'm so anxious to get away from Dennis. You know how he hangs around when anything important's going on.
We'll forget about him. We're going to have a nice, peaceful day in the country.
Yes. Ah, I can hardly wait.
Mr. Wilson! Hello, Mrs. Wilson.
Hello, Dennis, Tommy.
Hello. Where you going, Mr. Wilson?
None of your...
George, we're going for a drive in the country, Dennis.
Oh, I noticed you got a picnic basket with you.
Yes, that's right. Just keep your hands off it, Dennis.
You want me and Tommy to go with you?
Over my dead...
George, use a little diplomacy.
I guess you're right, Martha. Well, I'd like to have you come with us, Dennis, but there's an important job for you to do here.
Really? Spies or something?
Oh, no. Some men are coming by in a truck to do some work in my backyard. Now, when they get here, will you tell them to go right to work?
Sure.
That's better, George.
Well, will you do that for your old friend and neighbor? Hmm?
Sure I will, Mr. Wilson. And if they're gonna build something, I'll help them.
No. Just tell them to go to work, that's all. For heaven's sake.
behave, Tommy, or you'll think we're mad.
Well, here we are, Bob. Mississippi Street. 625 must be down the block.
I bet this is them, Tommy. Yeah. You see? They're looking at house numbers. Hello there! Here it is! This is the place. He wants us to go right to work in the backyard.
Well, I parked the rig. You go up and let them know we're here.
They're not home, but they told me to tell you to go right to work. They left a note on the door.
I'll go up and see what it says.
The backyard's the place.
Okay, kid. Willie reads the note.
You want me to help you to steer it in?
Oh, I think I can manage it alone.
Do you think maybe I ought to get up there in the car with you while you steer it in?
No, I don't think so.
This is it, all right? Listen. I'll be away for the day. The yard is all staked out. You can go right in.
Okay, let's get the dozer off.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know about you, kid, but we're going to put in a swimming pool.
A swimming pool? Wow.
I sure am glad you came and told me, Dennis. I simply wouldn't have believed it.
Oh, I've been telling everybody in the neighborhood. Good old Mr. Wilson's gonna have a swimming pool, all right.
Indeed he is. I wonder if the moths have got to my swimsuit. Well, I gotta go make some phone calls.
Bye, Mrs. Purcell.
Bye, Dennis.
Hey, you want me to drive for a while?
No, thanks.
I'll do it for free.
No, thanks.
I'll give you my harmonica if you let me drive.
I'm sorry, Dennis, and please stop asking. You've been pestering me all afternoon.
But I've wanted to drive a bulldozer all my life.
I'm sorry. Look, I'd like to accommodate you, Dennis, but you're not old enough and you don't know how.
But how can I learn if nobody gives me a chance? I'll be an old man with a real mustache and I still won't know how.
Sorry, no.
By that time, every other kid in the neighborhood will be able to drive one, but I won't.
No.
Even Margaret will be able to drive one. I will not. I don't want to. Why not? Because I'd rather be a mother. For gosh sakes, you're too short to be a mother. This is about the best hole we ever dug, Tommy. I'm tired. Well, we better go clean up for dinner.
Well, it was a nice day, George.
Oh, it's fine. Perfect. But I kind of hate to get back to where I'm considered the neighborhood grouch.
Haven't you forgotten about that yet?
No, I haven't. You know, Martha, the people in this neighborhood have suddenly become very distasteful to me.
Oh, nonsense. Go look at your seeding job.
No, I'm much too tired. I'll look at it in the morning.
If it isn't two of my favorite people, the Wilsons.
Mrs. Holland, good evening.
Good evening.
And how are you, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, I'm a little tired.
I understand you've been having some work done in your backyard.
Yes, that's right.
That's what I heard. You know, we really haven't been seeing enough of each other. Why don't you come to brunch Sunday?
Why, we'd love to.
Fine. 11 o'clock? Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night, Mrs. Holland.
You see, George, Mrs. Holland doesn't think you're a grouch.
Well, she just asked me because of you.
George, the telephone's ringing.
I'll get it. I'll get it. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello? Well, Mr. Taylor. Oh, well, yes, I play, if you can call it that. I'm just a duffer. Oh, well, I couldn't Sunday. I'm going to a brunch, you know. Saturday? Oh, yes, Saturday will be wonderful. Oh, good. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. Good night.
Who was that?
Why, that was Frank Taylor. He wants me to join him in a foursome for golf.
Oh, how nice. You've been wanting to get to know Mr. Taylor and his friends better for a long time.
Well, now, I guess there are a few people in this neighborhood who don't think I'm a grouch.
Of course. Who can that be?
I don't know.
Why, Mrs. Purcell.
Good evening, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening.
Mrs. Wilson.
Won't you come in?
Thank you. My, don't you have a lovely home?
Well, we like it.
I brought you these homemade quince preserves. I thought you might like it for your breakfast toast.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Purcell. It was very kind of you to think of us.
Thank you.
Well, it was in the way of being an apology for that time I called you an old goat.
Oh, go.
The time we bumped fenders in the parking lot at the supermarket.
Oh, forget it.
Oh, no, I won't. That accident was all my fault. And I want us to be close friends.
Well, now.
My husband feels exactly the same way.
Well, that's very
He
nice.
would have come over with me, but he found out the stores were open late tonight. So he went down to get some bathing trunks.
Well, we'll all have to get together sometime.
Yes, one of these hot summer afternoons.
Just a minute. It's for you, George.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Purcell. Hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Quigley. Bowling? Why, I'd like that very much. Oh, I don't think my control's that good. Really, Mr. Quigley? Well, I'll be glad to give you a few pointers. Turn professional? Oh, no. It's just a hobby with me. Really, Mr. Quigley? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll see you at the alley. Goodbye. Well, now there's one of the nicest fellows that ever walked into a bowling alley.
Hey, Dennis, look here. Look at what I found. Wow, that's the biggest firecracker I ever saw. Where'd you find it? In the alley. Why, you better give that to me, because firecrackers are dangerous. I'll take it over to my house and throw it away.
Oh, great Scott. Martha, we've overslept. It's almost 8:30.
It is?
Yep.
My goodness.
Oh, it's a wonderful, wonderful day.
Well, you are in a good mood this morning.
Well, how could I be otherwise? I live in a wonderful neighborhood, and I'm surrounded by my friends.
Of course you are. I've always told you that.
But there's so many of them. Why, everybody loves me. Do you realize we had visitors and phone calls all last night?
We certainly did.
Do you know, this morning I even see little Dennis in a different perspective.
See, Tommy, firecrackers are for big kids and grown-ups. Why? Because after they light them, they can run away faster than we can. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hello, boys.
Oh, Mrs. Mitchell. Let's go over to Eric's. We can help him take his piano lesson. Oh, hi, Dad.
Hi, son. Hi, Tommy.
Have a good day at the office, dear.
Thank you, sweetie. You too.
Oh, Henry, would you take this out to the incinerator?
I'd take that to the ends of the earth for you.
You know, Martha, from now on, I'm going to be a changed man. I'm not going to let the little things get under my skin.
Good for you.
Now, you take Dennis. There's a nice, clean-cut youngster. And I've been treating him like he was some kind of a fiend.
He's a sweet little boy, and he's very fond of you.
You know, I'm very fond of him deep down inside, and from now on, I'm going to show it. Martha, why don't you make some cookies so we'll have some when he comes over?
All right.
Great Scott, what was that?
Sounded like a bomb.
A bomb? Martha! It's a bomb crater! Oh, Martha!
George, what are we going to do?
I must do my duty. This is war. You get under the bed.
I want to be with you.
No, you get under the bed.
George, be careful.
Careful when my country's being attacked. Air raid! Air raid! Air raid! To the shelters! Air raid! Air raid! To your shelters, everybody, to the shelters!
What's going on?
Oh, great Scott, our first casualty. I'll telephone the medic as soon as I've alerted the others, Henry. Air raid! Air raid!
They're talking about.
Oh, take cover, Mrs. Elkins. We're being bombed.
I knew it would finally happen. Your mind is snapped.
Oh, there's a bomb crater in my backyard.
Bomb crater? That's the hole for your swimming pool.
What are you talking about? I don't have a swimming pool.
Sure you have, Mr. Wilson, and I helped dig it.
What? Oh,
Hey, Mr. Wilson! What are you doing out here in your sleepers?
Very well, Mr. Wilson. We'll fill the hole in a couple of days.
well, what's the matter with today?
Well, be reasonable, Mr. Wilson. We have only one bulldozer crew and one cement crew, and they're booked way ahead.
Where's that bulldozer today?
Doing the job it should have done when it dug that hole of yours.
All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Now, your men destroyed one of the finest lawns in this neighborhood.
George.
Now, you just hush, Martha. One of the finest lawns in this neighborhood. So, I'll settle if the hole is filled in a couple of days. If you'll put in new topsoil and pay for a complete reseeding job.
Mr. Wilson.
Otherwise, Mr. Banner, I'll be forced to call my attorney.
All right, Mr. Wilson. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Ah, thank you, Mr. Banner. Thank you very much indeed. Good afternoon, Mr. Banner.
Goodbye, Mrs. Wilson.
That, Martha, is known as pulling the fat out of the fire.
George, you ought to be ashamed.
Well, I saved us almost $100. And you know what I'm going to do with that money, Martha? I'm going to take you up to Lake Bailey for a couple of days. Yeah, besides, I'd like to get away for a little while.
Now, George, the neighbors aren't laughing at you.
Oh, yes, they are. They're calling me Air Raid Wilson. No, sir, Martha. We're leaving first thing in the morning.
It was a silly mistake. Some kid turned a sign around, but that's been straightened out. The excavation on Mississippi Street has been completed and ready for you to pour the cement.
But what about that street sign now? I don't want to end up pouring cement in a hole at the wrong house.
You don't have to worry about that. That sign's okay. I went out and turned the sign around right myself. Where it says Mississippi, that's Mississippi. You pour the cement and you'll be all right.
I didn't think he'd still be mad about the sign, but he sure is. How do you know? Because this morning he told me so. Then he climbed in the car with Mrs. Wilson and drove to Lake Bailey. I'll miss him. Me too. You know what we ought to do for good old Mr. Wilson? We ought to turn it the right way and not wait for the city to fix it.
Here it is, Mississippi Street.